yesterday we had a unique astrological event where Sun and planet Mercury were in conjunction, both in the zodiac sign of Libra, 27 degrees. And this event initiated a great transformation, like a beginning of a great transformation within your character, activation within your throat center. And a Sun represents the soul and a father figure. Sun also represents our digestive system, our bones, eyesight, and heart, and is basically making sure that our bodies stay healthy. That's why science is saying that just daily exposure to sun will decrease your depression and sadness and will actually make you feel more vital, more happier, right? So Sun is this great father figure that is like a great mentor for life. Like I mentioned in yesterday's video, that if we would all learn from it, we would recognize that to do a great work, like Sun is doing a great work, means that you do something so incredibly that when anyone comes across it, he or she will feel more alive. Like when you hear a great song, when you hear or see an incredible artwork or read a really powerful and meaningful book, you feel inspired by it. You feel more alive because of it. That's what Sun is doing. Sun gives life to everything. But then there's the planet Mercury. Mercury was in ancient times known as the messenger of God. So it's deeply connected or associated to our intellect, to our intuition, to our intelligence, to the ability to draw wisdom from challenges. And overall, it transmutes itself through the throat center. Why? Because of our throat center, we can express ourselves, right? In heart, we feel. In heart, we attract. We know. But to express what we know, there's the throat center. So yesterday's event was really important and significant when it comes to our own transformation, because we are all evolving in terms of intelligence, in terms of awareness, in terms of consciousness, and in terms of ability to lead our lives, to live our lives according to our standards that are based on truth, that are based on love and care we feel for all beings. So before we go further, I want to read a special message for you that I wrote today, and then we'll go into the message. So it goes like this. You may think that you're insignificant, but sometimes your simple smile can help someone release the stress of a long day. A word of support can inspire someone to make a life-altering change. A hug you gave to someone may have been a rare moment for that person to feel seen and loved. You see, we are often so focused on what's wrong with us that we dismiss the fact of how often we are a miracle in someone else's life. Like Rumi wrote, if everything around you seems dark, look again. You may be the light. So, if this already resonates with you, hit the like button, because it helps to bring this message to more people. And we can go further. Why 21 days? Why your life is about to change in the next 21 days? Well, theoretically, it takes us around 21 days to rewrite a certain pattern. For example, if you start waking up earlier, you will notice that around 21 days to 30 days, it became a bit easier. When you start a new habit, around 21 days to 30 days, it becomes more natural. So, what's happening, you're integrating more knowledge and more awareness into your own being. And conjunction is always a symbol of a soul-spirit conjunction. What does it mean? Well, if Sun represents soul, planet Mercury represents wisdom and knowledge, like again a great teacher. When conjunction in the universe happens, planetary conjunction, it always influences conjunction within ourselves, conjunction between soul and spirit. And in ancient alchemy, it was meant to give a birth to a new identity. So this is a powerful process that happens. So firstly, conjunction between soul and spirit, what does it mean? Well, spirit is like a field that connects all life. In spirit, there is a field of inspiration, a field of information from which we draw things into this reality. But soul then is this complex system of psychology and emotionality or emotions. And when conjunction happens between soul and spirit, we become a bit more enlightened. It's like something within us integrates and expands, like clarity can take place. Usually at times like that, people start getting downloads. Their intuition becomes more louder and they start channeling information. So you may notice that if you had any great conversations yesterday with someone, most probably it happened that there were downloads after downloads after downloads for you, for that other person. And then if you reflect on your life right now, and if you're meditating a little bit around the things that you want to kind of push forward or change or transform, you may notice that it's much easier to get clarity around this, right? And as this process gives us an opportunity to create a new identity, we come to a realization that we are actually letting go of something. We're letting go of an old story. The whole world is changing, and we see what the world is craving right now is craving a new story that is based on humanity, that is based on life, that is based on love, that connects everything. Dalai Lama said, compassion is the force that connects all living things, all living beings. So the new story needs to emerge out of love, out of compassion, out of humanity. And to be more human means to be less artificial, to be less programmed. And that's why I've read this message to you, right? To be reminded that actually, even if you think there's so many things wrong with you, you're still a miracle in someone else's life. In the past, I would not believe that until I've started getting feedback from my work, and I've noticed actually, I'm just expressing myself. I'm just doing what I love. And now I've started doing that because I wanted to do it. And I thought, well, I'm just having fun at it, until we started receiving messages from people all around the world, how much this work is changing people's lives. And that's where we notice, well, actually, whatever I do can be inspiring for someone. Even if I just go into a grocery store and I'm relaxed and at peace with myself, and I give a gentle smile to someone who feels stressed, it may changes his day. Maybe nothing will happen, but when that person will sit into his or her car and will think about that smile, and something will relax. That's how powerful we are when we actually embody this new version of ourselves. And it's happening constantly. We are constantly kind of, evolving in this upward spiral. But when these astrological events happen, cosmic events happen, it just initiates this process, because the whole universe is just speeding up in this positive evolution. And yes, people may say, yeah, but what about all the dark things that are happening? It's again what I mentioned about the sun yesterday. The sun is the purest body in the solar system and is composed of 93% of hydrogen atoms, which is the simplest form of matter known. It also is constantly in a process of purification in which cooler and darker masses known as sunspots rise to the surface. Isn't that a representation of constant cleansing, constant purification, constant expression of what needs to come out, so within we may feel more at ease with ourselves, more at peace with ourselves? What if planet Earth is doing that? Because we've been so harsh on it and now it's, bringing everything out. And what if each individual is going through that same process? As in the past we've been all so hard on ourselves, and right now we all feel like we need to soften a little bit and to bring our traumas out, our concerns out, our fears out, our limiting beliefs out, our sadness out. Not in a ways of complaining, but in a ways of healing. So all of us that are doing the work may eventually feel more confident within our own skin, and may eventually acknowledge that we're all here unique beings that can only complement one another, right? Each of us can bring out our own unique skills, talents, intelligence, wisdom, and therefore we can build up a new web of life, which is based on unique individuality that just supports one another and builds a whole new system on which everything is functioning based on collaboration rather than competition. And that's something that is happening as a natural process of evolution. So when we see wars that are happening and crazy stuff that are happening, partially it's also because all these systems and organizations that were happening like underground and things that were hidden from us need to come out so we can see them, so we can actually see how messed up the society is. And then we can decide objectively how can we be as a part of the solution. And as in deep level, you can know that sometimes you have to have a great challenge to go through the process of a wake-up call, to recognize that actually I am significant when it comes to humanity. I am needed here, right? I am needed. So this sense of neediness is within all of us. Sometimes people say you should let go of being needy. But being needy is our nature because we are needed here. It's just how we choose to channel it. If we have a lack of purpose, a lack of meaning in our lives, we'll seek neediness in relationships and in conversations, and we'll be pleasing others and be attaching ourselves to others. But when we wake up and actually find something we're passionate about, we'll transmute this neediness into practicality, into usefulness, into skillfulness that can actually bring or create a change on this planet. And this is something really powerful. When you start thinking about yourself like that, you will notice your life will start changing in 21 days, in 30 days. Your life will completely transform, especially right now as our centers are being activated, which means that you can now think more deeply, more clearly. Things are manifesting in your life much, much faster. You can easily discernment what's real, what's not real, what's useful, what's not useful, what's truth, what's not the truth, what to use for the benefit of your own growth so you can expand your growth to others, and what to ditch, what to let go of. You can easily detect those things, right? That's how awakened you already are. Sometimes people say, how can I know that I'm awakened? Well, recognize what you already know and recognize how aware you already are. There's no measurement like how awakened you are. It doesn't matter. Who cares about it? All that matters is that you can easily start to organize your life the way that you start feeling more joyfully. And you become more passionate about the things that are important to you, that have a great meaning, that can influence someone else's life in a positive way. That's the awakening. Awakening is not measured in in just in your vibration, even though it is. But if we focus on just on raising our vibration, then what we'll do with that, it's like changing an engine in a car for a more powerful one without having a purpose for that, right? So to raise your vibration, it starts with changing your lifestyle. It starts with finding more things you love to do so you can become better at whatever is important to you. So at some point you become so good at it that whoever will come across your work will feel more enlightened, will feel more inspired, will feel more awakened. That's the whole purpose of this process, right? That's why there are two different ways. One way, like I mentioned yesterday, is to just keep evolving and keep becoming better at whatever you're doing, even if it's just taking care of your family. Keep becoming more loving, keep becoming more caring, more awakened in terms of emotional awareness and pattern recognition and trauma detection. Like, okay, right now I'm speaking my mother's wound here and I need to calm down. And right now I need my space to deal with that. So when you get back more loving, right? And we're all learning in this process to become more loving in this way. But the point is that we're keep getting better and better at it. So, my friends, so much is about to change. And I want to remind you to start reaching up your mind, to enrich your mind with richer thoughts, with prosperous thoughts. You are what you think, right? So keep making sure that your mindset stays pure, that you're constantly purifying your mind like the sun, that you're doing some fasting, information fasting, social media fasting. So we can make sure that what stays within your mind during fasting is something that supports this process, is something that awakens you, is something that makes you feel strong, that makes you feel wise, that makes you feel helpful and practical, that helps you to find the middle point in life, a sense of moderation, right? Sometimes we have to experience two different extremes, so eventually we find the middle point, so it's okay. Also to be kind towards yourself, to be loving towards yourself. What does it mean? It means that you're not blaming yourself when you recognize that maybe someone else is more evolved than you, someone else is more successful than you. You remind yourself, this is your process. All these people have been through their own processes, and even though they may look successful within themselves, they're battling same things as you. We all do. No one is perfect. Nobody is pure here. If we would be as pure as possible, we would not be in a physical form. We're here because we're all purifying ourselves. So rather than comparing yourself with others, you can compare yourself with yourself from yesterday, because you will notice, oh, I've changed, I've grown, I've evolved, or I have something to learn from there, right? I have to forgive to my younger self for not knowing any better. And I have to love my future self for becoming better. This is the process. So become kind towards yourself. You will notice your life will change in the next 21 days. Time is speeding up. There's a mental time concept, which is basically a perception of time. And perception of time is changing based by our experiences, right? For example, if you go into a freezing cold water, time will be moving in a slow motion. It will feel like 5 minutes is like 1 hour. But when you're doing something you love, 1 hour feels like 5 minutes. That's the mental time concept. And this mental time is speeding up because vibrations are rising and everything is speeding up. So when you think about something, it suddenly manifests and you become really, really careful about what you allow yourself to think and to say. You recognize the power of your words. You recognize that words are spells And when you're talking about things you want or don't want, you're actually casting spells, you're expressing spells, right? That's why in ancient times they had those great mantras that were not like words we are using today. Those mantras were meant to raise the vibration, and within the mantra there was already an information as a signal. So it was meant to raise the vibration, but at the same time send an intention out. In English language, for example, to achieve something similar means that you firstly raise your gratitude, and then in the state of gratitude you send an intention out for something you would love to see, like, I am prosperous, and you do it in gratitude. It's a similar effect as ancient mantras that you may hear in certain Tibetan monasteries, or if you go on YouTube you can find them, right? In ancient Egypt you can find similar mantras. And it's interesting how we learn to actually work with these energy forces that are within us and all around us. And as the shift is happening, this energy will be getting stronger and stronger, and will become better and better at manifesting, at influencing the reality. So, as our throat center has a huge importance when it comes to expression and ability to organize our thoughts in such a way that we say what we mean, and so we can walk what we say, we recognize that we have to be well stable, right? That's why it's so important when Sun and Mercury were both in Libra, because it's stability, it's balance. This energy came to activate you. It doesn't matter if it's still here or not, it just activated your energy body. And now this activation is integrating and you're balancing it. So you may notice that you feel more drawn to solitude or to moments of meditation, to be in nature maybe more often. You may notice that with people you're hanging with, you will naturally go into deep conversations, and in those deep conversations lots of moments of clarity will happen. So don't forget to take action with that. Don't forget to put it into work, because nothing helps if you get an intuitive insight if you don't do anything with it. It's like universe is wasting its energy on you. So you have to use what you get if you want to transform your life. But you will notice transformation will start happening really, really fast. So my friends, I hope you found something valuable today. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. Stay beautiful, stay magnificent, and I want to remind you that we are running a special sale never before, 20 off on all the prints of my art. You can find it in the link in the description of this video. If any painting resonates with you, it's a sign that it's for you. I've put a lot of love into my work. There's many paintings you can find there. So thank you so much for your support. You're truly appreciated. Until next time, one love.